Hey, welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I'm That Guy Talking Movies, and on this episode, we are going to talk about Netflix's latest drop, the Kenya Barris penned and Kenya Barris directed romantic comedy, racial comedy, You People, starring Eddie Murphy, Louis-Dreyfus, Jonah Hill, Lauren London, and David Duchovany. We're going to get right into it here. But first, before we do that, if you like talking movies and you're new to this channel, you like listening to people talk about movies and streaming content and collecting physical media like 4K content and all that good stuff, and you're new, again, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And for those of you who stick with me and continue to watch my videos, I really appreciate you being here. Let's get into it. But this is the basic sort of, I guess, a retelling of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967 Sidney Poitier film, Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy. And this is the comic over-the-top version of this. And it doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. This will be a pretty straight-to-the-point video. From the moment... So right away, whenever you see characters that are going to be written in this sort of wooden stereotype, like cardboard cutout of a character, right? And you don't get any depth from them, and you don't get any sort of like real character there. It's not written the right way, right? That's always a recipe for something really bad. Then when you take those characters and you try to put them together in a what's supposed to be romantic situation, it's supposed to be love happening here, and they don't have any chemistry, and it's basically the crux of the film, these people falling in love and wanting to be with each other, right? That's the basis of it, right? When you don't have that chemistry there and you've got poorly written characters, you might as well just stop right there, because you can't continue to go any further because you don't believe it. It's not plausible. It's not believable. Jonah Hill and Lauren London, neither one of them inspired any sort of feeling about their actual characters. And the chemistry was so terrible. I mean, I've seen better chemistry from mating insects on like a David Attenborough narrated Blue Planet episode or something along those lines, right? Planet Earth. They had zero chemistry. And that leads me to the next point. They didn't touch each other. I think they had one kiss, 2 kisses in the entire film. Maybe I'll go back and count them. Is it worth it? No. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but they had the wedding kiss or whatever that was. But the first time that they make love, or that it's implied that they actually got physical, you see them in bed, you see their feet, and then they're under the blanket, and it's supposed to be a cute little thing about them falling for one another and having now that they've got intimate, right? There's zero chemistry. They don't touch each other. There's no, I know it's not supposed to be, it's not Last Tango in Paris. It's not 9.5 Weeks. It's not supposed to be this, it's not supposed to be this romantic, sexually charged film. I get it, right? It's a Netflix PG. Is it PG? Yeah, probably PG for language and stuff, right? It's a Netflix PG film. And I don't expect to see sex scenes, but I expect there to be chemistry, or to be so well written and so well performed by characters that you believe, where you feel the chemistry, where you see the love, where you feel the romance. They speed right through this. Now, I know the original 1967 film, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, they fall in love. I think it's like in 12 days that they are going to get married. They're engaged. So in this one, I guess they're following the same thing. This seemed rather fast. I think there was a passage of time, though. It's a little different. I think it was more than 12 days. But they did speed through this before they got to the real heart of the story, which was, okay, now you've got to meet my parents. I got to meet your parents kind of thing, right? And this is where it fails again as well, because the characters, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I freaking love, David Duchovny, Eddie Murphy, one of my favorites of all time. I fucking love Eddie Murphy. I can't wait for his return to screen, like a big way, like just keep doing movies again. But this was a serious disappointment and a serious waste of talent, because again, they wrote these characters like super wooden, super cardboard cutout, stereotypical, and they put it all together, and then you had the joke. So Kenya Barris, as far as I'm concerned, like Coming to America is a perfect example of writing a film. Not a good idea, dude. You're not good at it. And this is another example of just terrible, really boring, really trite writing, terrible lack of character development, and a waste of talented actors. I feel like the production for this was awkward. Like, I can almost imagine some of the scenes between some of these people, and it just seemed awkward. And going back to Jonah Hill and Lauren London and lack of chemistry on screen, at least, it would seem like, who was the one who didn't want to kiss the other one? Who refused to be romantic? Was it Jonah Hill? I'm not messing with her. Or was it Lauren London? I ain't kissing that white boy Jonah Hill. Like, what was it? Because there's nothing here. It's like, it's almost like they had clauses in their contracts like, well, we're going to have a film about interracial dating and marriage and stuff, but the two leads can't really touch each other. This thing, we don't want to alarm anybody. Really? In this day and age? What you see, in 1967, when Guess Who's Coming to Dinner came out, I think it was maybe a few months before the film came out or after the film came out. Like, there was still like 20 states that interracial marriage was still illegal. I think it was 17 states where it was illegal in this country. So the tone and the atmosphere back then, that film, which wasn't a slapstick comedy, there were issues going on there, and there was an underlying narrative and themes that were being exposed, and cultural mindsets that were being exposed there and being addressed in that film that had weight when it came to society and what the filmmakers were doing there, right? In this film, you've got these issues. We certainly live in a politically charged, racially charged community right now, country right now, world. And you could play with those things in film, and we could talk about them. We could bring these themes up, and overall we can end up with messages at the end, like the way this one does, in a terrible way. But you can't do it when you don't have the chemistry and you don't have the love to begin with, and you can't even show it in a film. It just totally failed for me from the moment it started, and I wanted to like it. There's probably a few moments where I laughed, and obviously Jonah Hill was one of the co-writers on the script here, so he must have wrote all the Jewish humor jokes and all those scenes, when they're with a rabbi and they're at temple and his mother and father, like probably all those things between his sister and his little short witty quips that Jonah Hill's known for, like those little things. That was all Jonah Hill, and Kenya Barris wrote all the black, politically, the Muslim stuff and Farrakhan stuff, and it just doesn't work. It all fell short. There were a few lines that were funny, a few situations that might have been funnier, but they just fell short because somebody was lazy. Look, I think you could tell I did not think this was a worthwhile. It's one of those things where I'm like, you know what, I just want to turn this off. You know what, I just want to turn this off. You know what, I just want to turn this off. It's a Netflix streaming movie, so go ahead and watch it. Like, I'm not going to tell you, like, you don't have to pay to go see this in the movie theater. But to be perfectly honest with you, you're probably better off spending 2 hours watching, like, Taco Chronicles or some random documentary you haven't seen. Something on ancient civilizations would be far more entertaining than this garbage. All right, that's it for me on That Guy Talks Movies. I've spoken about it. You people, did you see it? Do you plan to see it? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate your feedback, and give this video a like. I truly appreciate that as well. It helps the algorithm, helps me keep making these videos and doing my thing, and it feels good, right? Much love and appreciation to all of you, and I will see you on the next That Guy Talks Movies.